So this is the question that is given, which is completely based on constructor. So what is given? Space byte club, that is a name that is given. Space byte club. Wait just a minute. Space byte club of Don Bosco School, Lidua, has organized a programming course on Python, Java, and C++. Okay, so basically Don Bosco, there is a Don Bosco school, and in the Don Bosco school there is a club called Space byte Club, and they have organized a programming course on Python, Java, and C++. And each programming language was marked out of 30. Okay, so Python test was out of 30, Java test was out of 30, and the C++ test was out of 30. And we have to just design a class called student grade, and that satisfies the certificate based on the given criteria. Python will store the marks of Python, Java will store the marks of Java, and CPP will score the marks of C++. Grade will mark the student grade, and the name will store the name of the student. Okay, so these are the variables and that we have to initially declare in a constructor program. In any constructor program, first of all we have to declare the variable. Okay, so just keep this in mind. In any constructor program we have to declare the first variable. So how to declare the variable? Let's write first write input java dot util dot star. Okay, first this is a mandatory line, and give a class public class. Why public? Because it should be accessible anywhere inside the function. It should be accessible anywhere inside the function. That's why it is public. Public class student grade. What is student grade? The student grade is nothing but the grade that student has got. It is a class name. It is a class name. This is called class name. We have mentioned the keyword class, and this is the class name. Which one? This one is the class name. Okay, then what I have told, we have to declare all the variables that is given here. So we have to first write int Python. This is the main step, where whenever there is a constructor program given, just mention the class and its name, and then declare all the variable that is given over there. Okay, I think you understood this. That we have to just write all the variable name. We have to write all the variable name as it is mentioned there. Just make a short trick of that. Okay, just copy. Okay, there will be grade, right? In place of name there will be grade. Sorry for the mistake, but there will be grade. So what I have done, let's recap. First I have written the mandatory line. Why this line is written? This line is written just to take all the package into consideration. What is package? Where all the method and functions are stored, where all the inbuilt method and function are stored. And this is the class, and this is the name of the class, and we have declared all the variables. I think it is clear. Now what is the next step then? Next step is when, okay, suppose we have 2 students, or suppose we have 3 students. Suppose we have 3 students. Student 1, student 2, student 3. For every student, the marks will be initialized to 0. For every student, the marks will be initialized to the 0. No, we can say to the default value at first. For every student, the marks will be initialized to default value. Okay, so we can do using a for loop. We can do for every student using a for loop to initialize every variable to their default value, but there is much more simpler way to do that. What I have said, let's explain this in Bengali, and I think it will be more clear. আমি বলছি ফর লুপ দিয়ে সবকটা স্টুডেন্টের ভ্যালুগুলোকে বা ভেরিয়েবলগুলোকে, সবকটা স্টুডেন্টের ভেরিয়েবলগুলোকে ইনিশিয়ালাইজ করা যেতে পারতো। ফর লুপ দিয়ে সবকটা স্টুডেন্টের ভেরিয়েবলগুলোকে ইনিশিয়ালাইজ করা যেতে পারত, বাট তাতে কী হবে, অনেক টাইম নষ্ট হবে আর কোডটাও অনেক বড় হয়ে যাবে, ঠিক আছে। আর যদি আমার কাছে 100টা স্টুডেন্ট থাকতো বা 1000টা স্টুডেন্ট থাকতো, আমাকে 1000বার ফর লুপ লাগাতে হতো, হ্যাঁ কি না, যেন আমাকে 1000বার 10,000বার ফর লুপ বা 1,00,000বার যেন ফর লুপ লাগাতে যেন না হয়, সেই জন্য আমরা কনস্ট্রাক্টর ডিক্লেয়ার করি, যাতে ওই কনস্ট্রাক্টর ডিক্লেয়ার করলেই ওই পার্টিকুলার স্টুডেন্টের জন্য সব কটা আমার ডিফল্ট ভ্যালু চলে আসে। বুঝতে পারলি? যদি না বুঝতে পারিস ভিডিওটা আরেকবার একটু রিপিট দেখ, তাও আমি একবার বলছি যে আমরা ফর লুপ দিয়ে প্রতিটা স্টুডেন্টের ভ্যালু ডিফল্ট ভ্যালু দিয়ে ইনিশিয়ালাইজ করতে পারি, কিন্তু যদি স্টুডেন্টের সংখ্যা বেশি থাকে বারবার ফর লুপ লেখাটা ফিজিবল হবে না। সেই জন্য আমরা কনস্ট্রাক্টর ডিক্লেয়ার করি যাতে প্রতিবার স্টুডেন্টের জন্য আমার ফর লুপ না চালাতে হয়, জাস্ট ওই কনস্ট্রাক্টরকে কল করলেই আমার ডিফল্ট ভ্যালুটা যেন চলে আসে। কথাটা বুঝেছিস? যদি না বুঝতে পারিস অডিওটা আরেকবার শোন, 2বার শোন, 3বার শোন, কিন্তু ইট উইল বি মাচ মোর ক্লিয়ার। সেই জন্য আমি রেকর্ড করছি যাতে তোরা 2বার 3বার শুনতে পারিস। ওকে, সো আমি বললাম যে কেন আমি ডিক্লেয়ার করবো কনস্ট্রাক্টর। So now I will say how to declare. So public means ki it will be accessible anywhere in the program. Why I am writing the student grade here, because just keep in mind that the class name and the constructor name should be always be same. The class name and the constructor name should always be same, and there is a parameter pjcn. So I will just erase it off because I need some space to write. I think you understand what I have told. Now int, just I will write the parameter int p, int j, int c and string n. I think you have noticed that these are the 4 parameters. Okay, and if someone needs the question, I will be attaching the question in the comment section. Please do check it out. Okay, now so what I have done, I have written public. Why I written public? Because it should be accessible anywhere inside the program, and this is the constructor name, and we know that the class name should be exactly same as the constructor name, and we have written all the parameters. Now what should be done? Now P is for Python, J is for Java, C is for C++, and S is for what? S is for, okay, not S, I have misnoticed, it will be N. Okay, so what the N is for? N is for name. I think you understand. Okay, I think you understood. Okay, and that's all. And so we have to just initialize this now. So this dot Python equals to P. What this means? Yeah, this is the line why many students get confused, that why I am writing this line, so just make clear right now. So see, here I have written Python. Yes or no? Yes, here I have written Python. So as I have here written Python, I want to access this variable inside this function. What I have said, I want to access this variable inside this function. Okay, as I want to access this variable inside this function, so to take this variable to here, to bring this variable to here, I use this keyword. This is acting like a pointer. Which points to this variable. This variable is coming over here, and I am assigning this value to this variable. Same like Java. This Java equals to J. What this means? This means this variable is coming over here with the help of this keyword as a pointer, and I am assigning this value to the Java J. I think you understood. Same as the C++, I will write this dot cpp equals to C. and same for n I will write this dot name equals to n, and initially the grade will be empty. Why the grade will be empty? Because according to the marks the grade will be decided. According to the marks the grade will be decided. That's why the grade is empty at first. So this dot grade equals to empty, because according to the marks the grade will be decided. So at first the grade is empty. I think you get this. Okay, if you don't get this, just listen it twice, you will surely get this. Okay, now I have to, now the next step, what is the next step? I have to read the values from the user. Okay, this video is getting too lengthy, so take break and listen it twice, thrice, you will be much more comfortable. Just first step, what is the first step that I have written is to just declare all the variables. After you declare all the variables, just initialize those variables with the parameter that is given, because here in this parameter we will be passing the input as a user, because here in this parameter we will be passing the input as a user. Okay, and initially the grade is empty. Why? Because according to marks the grade will be decided. Okay, now so this is a common line which I have told in my previous videos, that when we want to take input from the user, the first thing that we have to do that to import scanner class, and declare it. To import the scanner class and declare it. The first thing, that if we want to read the value from the user, so if we want to read a value from the user, just we have to declare a scanner and declare an object like this. Now if I want to access this name, I use this keyword. So this dot name equals to sc.nextInt. That's how I take a input. That's how sc.nextLine. That's how I take a input for a name. That's how I take a input for any student's name from sc.nextLine. Okay, and same if I want to know the Python marks, so that will be an integer, that we all know that will be an integer. So sc.nextInt. Now if I want to know the Java marks, the Java marks, so we also will write sc.nextInt. Same if we also want to know the C++ marks, so we will also write sc.nextInt. So now you know how to take input from user. Okay, and why I'm writing this, now you know this answer. I know you know this answer. Now why we are writing this? Because to access all the variables from here, okay. Now we have to assign grade. If you have noticed here, the grade was empty. The grade was empty initially. The grade was empty. Yes, so we have to assign grade to every student now. We have to assign grade to every student now. So how we will assign the grade? Okay, so let's do it. Public static void main, not void main, sorry, I missed the function, is assign grade. Public static void assign grade okay. So how will assign the grade? How I will assign the grade? First of all, I will calculate the marks that I got on Python plus Java plus C++. I will calculate the marks, and I know the total marks. I know the total marks is 90. I know the total marks is 90. So what will be my percentage? The percentage will be in decimal. It can be in decimal, so that's why I use double. And I will divide marks by total marks. I will divide marks by total marks. I will divide marks by total marks, and that 2 into 100. That 2 into 100. I think you got it. Okay. So now everyone will be confused that why I have added 0.0 here. 0.0 here because if my marks is, suppose example, if my marks was 30 and no let's change the example. If my marks was 45 and total marks is 90, and if I write normal 100 in integer, then it will be divisible by 2 and 2 will be divisible by 50. So it is not coming in decimal. So how to store in double then? And how to store in double? That's why I have used 0.0, so to convert it into decimal. Understood? If you don't understood, just listen it twice. You will understood. Now you understood. First of all, I calculate the marks of Python, Java and C++ and my total marks. So then I divided the marks by total marks into 100.0, okay, to convert into percentage. Now I will simple write if else. Like if the percentage is greater than equal to 90 and percentage less than equals to 100, okay, just access that grade variable with the this keyword, and put a plus here. Same else if the percentage is greater than 75%, just access the grade variable using this keyword and put a here. Same if the percentage is greater than 60%, then access the grade variable using this keyword and put b here. Else if the percentage, my handwriting is not so good, so please cooperate with me because the code is too much big. So else if the percentage is greater than equal to 45, then access the grade keyword using this dot grade and assign C to it. Else if the percentage is greater than equal to 33, then access the grade variable using this keyword and assign D here. And otherwise if it is less than 33, then assign fail. Then assign fill. I think you understood. If you don't understood, just watch it at 0.75x. I am sure you will definitely understood. It's nothing but a simple if and else statement. Okay, so now the last is to display. So we have to just display the grade. We have to just display the grade as per asking the question. I will share with you the question. Just have a watch on that. So public void display, and I will just write in short. You can make a comment line over there, but just I will write in short that this dot name class has a grade of this dot grade. So that's how we display it. Like it will, here it will comes the name of a student and his or her grade. Okay, so the name, suppose Somprita has a grade of A plus, like this it will come. Okay, don't ask me why I've taken the name of her. Okay, now so main method. Now we have to call the main method. Like four functions we have created. Now it's time to call. Okay, I think three functions we have created. Okay, sorry, three functions we have created. So now it's time to call. So for calling, I will first write public static, that is the constant line, that is the constant. Public static void main string args. Okay, student grade, student equal to new student grade, equal to new student grade, equal to new student grade. Okay, so that's how we call an object. That's how we, if you don't know how to call an object, I will make a separate video on that, but that's how we call an object. Okay, so then student, we have three functions we have make. So call this object with that functions. Student dot with values, student dot assign grade, and student dot display certificate. So that's how it's over. Okay, so that's all with the code. Let me go through the code once and just a narrow recap. Okay, just a narrow recap what I have done. First, I have done all the variable declarations. Okay, within a class I have done all the variable declarations: Python, Java, C++, grade and name. And now if we have multiple students, we don't have to use a for loop. We have to just call this constructor. Okay, and the constructor name is always same as the class name. Okay, constructor name is always same as the class name. So thus we have to call this constructor, and automatically the initial value or the default value will be assigned to them. Okay, next just a minute. Okay, there is something I missed. What I missed, that the default value I have missed. Okay, so the default so I have to use the default value, right? So public static public student grade, just please hold with a minute. this dot python equals to 0. I have just missed it, otherwise I would have remembered that I was writing it. Java equal to 0, this dot cpp equal to 0. They are the default value that is being initialized. They are the default value where it is being initialized. Okay, so this is the default value. So this name is default constructor, where if I simply call a constructor, then these all values will be getting initialized. But if I call something parameterized constructor, then these values will be getting initialized. Okay, both of them will not execute at once. Either this one will be executed, or this one will be executed. If I call just a constructor, then this default value will be initialized. But if I call a parameterized constructor, these values will be initialized. Suppose suppose for example, if I give p value as 2, j value as 3, c value as 5, n value as sam, so then these are parameterized constructor. These are parameterized constructor because I have already given a value to them. But if I don't give any value, so these are called default constructor. I think you understood. Then to assign these values, because I have to take some value of Python. If I use parameterized constructor, if I use parameterized constructor, I have to use some value of Python, some value of Java, some value of CPP, some value of name, and some value of grade. Okay, so we have to then take the input from user to take the values of Python, Java, CPP, name, and grade. So we are taking an input, but we are not taking an input for grade, because initially the grade is empty. As you can see here, initially the grade will be empty. Okay, why? Because according to the percentage, the grade will be assigned. Okay. So how to calculate total marks is Python plus Java plus C++. Python, the marks that the student can get is Python plus Java plus C++, and total marks is 50. And how to calculate the percentage, we all know, marks divided by total marks into 100. And if the marks is greater than equal to 50 and less than equal to 100, then assign A plus. If it is greater than 75, then assign A. If it is greater than equal to 60, then assign B. If it is greater than equal to 45, then assign C. If it is greater than equal to 33, then assign D. Otherwise mark it as fail. Okay, so initially the grade is empty, and according to the percentage we will assign the grade to it, and after assigning the grade we will display. That's a simple logic. And to call all the function, we need to create an object. That's a 8 class concept. That's a class 8 concept. So thus we have to assign, create an object to call all the method and the functions, and that's all with the program. If you understand, please like, subscribe, and share. It will motivate me to make much more videos to help you with this. Please do subscribe and share as much as possible. Bye for now. Let's meet on the next video.